Good morning, everyone. Arianna Poindexter here on the Action News 5 digital desk. It is 9:01 on this Thursday, August 20th. We're going to start by taking a look at some of the headlines that we have been following this morning right here on Action News 5, and of course now on the Action News 5 digital desk. So first up, Dershawn Freeman. Let's talk about that verdict. A Shelby County jury, they delivered a split decision in the trial of two jailers accused of killing an inmate inside the Shelby County Jail 4 years ago. Stevan Jones and Courtney Parham faced charges including second-degree murder in the death of Dershawn Freeman. Jones was found not guilty on all charges. Parham was found guilty on criminally negligent homicide and reckless endangerment. His attorney said they stand by his innocence, claiming his actions were to subdue a chaotic situation. He will be sentenced next month. And the Shelby County District Attorney's Office says it's closing criminal cases about 100 days sooner on average. The DA's office has launched a new case outcomes tracker to give the public an inside look at the system. The new tracking system shows how cases flow from arrest to sentencing. In a statement, DA Steve Morroy said, "We are not collecting data just to produce reports. We're making that information available so the public can see how cases are moving through the system." And the father charged in his 5-year-old son's accidental shooting death returns to court this morning. Marquavius Washington was in court yesterday as the judge gave him a $100,000 bond. He is charged with criminally negligent homicide, reckless endangerment, and aggravated child neglect. His son, Tamir Washington, got a hold of a gun Monday and shot himself. He later died at the hospital. And this man also in court this morning after Memphis police say he kidnapped a woman at gunpoint. Take a look at your screen. This is Marlon Jackson. He faces several charges, including aggravated kidnapping and assault. Police say on Tuesday, a woman accepted a ride share from Jackson. From there, Jackson did not take the woman to her destination and began demanding sexual acts. The woman refused, and records state that Jackson pointed a gun at her. Police say the woman later escaped, and Jackson identified himself to police. He's currently in jail on a $100,000 bond. And Memphis police say flock cameras helped catch robbery suspects. Take a look at your screen here. Cordarius Parks, Shanadrian Lee, Cardarius Grayer, and Courtney Robinson, they all face theft charges. Memphis police say on August 5th, they held security guards at gunpoint for more than an hour at Cummins on Quality Drive, making off with over $200,000 in stolen property. Investigators used flock cameras to track the getaway U-Haul through Mississippi and Alabama, catching up with the suspects near Atlanta. Alvin Lloyd and a sixth unidentified suspect are still on the run. And it's been nearly a year since the Memphis Safe Task Force arrived in the Bluff City. In that time, the task force has made more than 10,000 arrests, found more than 150 missing children. The question now is, what happens after the task force leaves? Memphis Police Chief C.J. Davis, she says she's open to having certain aspects stick around, like the additional Tennessee Highway Patrol troopers to help with highway and road patrols to help free up police resources. Chief Davis says a transition plan is in the works, and Memphis police are making the majority of the arrests in the city right now. Over in Clarksdale, Mississippi, the police department there is searching for a suspect after a shooting that left one woman injured. On August 18th at around 3:20 in the morning, officers say Liddell Porter and Jakiah Morgan were arguing. That's when Porter shot Morgan. The victim was airlifted to Memphis Area Hospital for treatment. Anyone with information regarding Porter's whereabouts is encouraged to contact law enforcement. And 6 people are in jail after a standoff with police in Senatobia, Mississippi. So here's a look at the scene there. Several law enforcement agencies were on the scene at Cox Street yesterday morning, including DeSoto and Tate County Sheriff's Departments. Investigators say they were originally called there to clear out a large group seen with guns and drugs. When they arrived, some suspects tried running away, with others barricading themselves inside a house. Video after the barricade ended showed the front door blown off the hinges. And the trial in the civil case between the Tennessee Valley Authority and the city of Holly Springs will start August 9th of next year. The Holly Springs Utilities Department has had issues for years, leading to its recent court-appointed change in leadership. TVA sued the city, saying its financial issues stem from the city's failure to support the utility financially. On Tuesday, the State Public Service Commission announced it's filing to reconsider the new court-chosen leader. And family and friends of Nolan Wells, they honored him last night with a rally in Biloxi, Mississippi, on what would have been his 19th birthday. Wells vanished after a July 4th boating trip to Horn Island with friends. Crews recovered his body 2 days later in the water near the island. More than 6 weeks later, his death still has no clear explanation. 2 autopsies have been determined, or they have not determined what caused Wells's death. Authorities continue investigating, but haven't publicly indicated a crime occurred. The state's autopsy report remains sealed, pending review by a grand jury. And a new vaccine appears to have the ability to prevent the recurrence of the deadliest form of skin cancer. So Moderna and Merck say it's for people who've had melanoma. They cite stage 3 trial results suggesting the vaccine can stop the disease from coming back or spreading. The companies say the vaccine is individualized. It uses the same mRNA technology behind certain coronavirus vaccines. And Memphis is honoring one of its own, wrestling legend Jerry the King Lawler. City Councilman Dr. Jeff Warren will host an honorary street sign unveiling today at 1 p.m. near the intersection of Homer Street and Gibbon Avenue. Lawler got his start in Memphis wrestling back in 1970, going on to become a 57-time Southern heavyweight champion and a WWE Hall of Famer. The Memphis City Council passed a resolution in June to honorarily rename a portion of Homer Street after the hometown icon. And forget waiting in line for food. Ole Miss is bringing robots to campus instead. So starting next Monday, students can order through the Starship app powered by Grubhub, and a delivery robot will bring their food right to them within minutes. The university partnered with Starship Technologies to launch the new fleet ahead of the fall semester. Meanwhile, Mississippi State University just gave us a look at farming's future. So the tractor that you see on your screen here, it actually drives itself. No farmer required behind the wheel. The university says it's not malfunctioning, it's automation at work. Researchers say technology like this could eventually keep farmers out of the field during the most dangerous summer heat. And calling all Grizzlies fans out there, the Memphis Grizzlies are cleaning out the garage for a good cause. This Saturday is the Grizzlies Garage Sale. From 11 a.m. to 3 p.m., you can buy Grizz clothing, novelty items, pictures, posters, autographed items, and more. Proceeds will go to local education and mentoring programs. Parking is free, and the Grizzlies Den will have a 40% off sale. So if you wanted to check out some things there, definitely want to stop by on this Saturday. Again, that's from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. And those are a look at some of the top stories that we've been following here on Action News 5 and that we are currently following on the Action News 5 digital desk. 9:09 is the time on this Thursday. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back.
It's that time of the month where we talk with one of our suburban mayors, and I got to tell you, I think my comments about his seersucker warded off Mayor Mike Palazzolo, but that's okay because we have Marianne Gibson, alderman and vice mayor for the city of Germantown, joining us to talk about upcoming events in September. Marianne, good morning, and we can go right into how we were just talking about this with back to school season. And, for some guy whose kids are in school, we don't follow high school sports actively just yet, but it's already high school football season in Germantown in our school systems. We've got a big rivalry game coming up, as I understand it.
We do. Friday night football, it's happening. Germantown versus Houston. It's going to be a wonderful, wonderful matchup. But I'm excited to join you today, Parker. Mayor Palazzolo normally hosts these updates, but I'm thrilled to step in and talk about my favorite time of year here in Germantown, what's happening as we head into one of the best times this fall season. I serve as the board liaison to the Parks and Recreation Commission, and this season is near and dear to my heart. Between all of the major fall events that we have here, we've got some incredible park improvements that I'm going to be sharing with you. We've just completed those, and there's just lots of positive momentum right now.
This is definitely the run of the mill phrase. If you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. And so I think
No kidding.
you're saying that with regard to fall. And I personally, it's my favorite season. I can't wait for the leaves to start changing colors, for football season on all levels, high school, college, professional, to get underway. But in Germantown, we've got a big festival coming up. I'd love to get the layout for those who are in Germantown, but also outside of Germantown. They might be looking for something to do in the first couple of weekends of September. Let's talk about the festival in Germantown.
Parker, you're exactly right. The fall in Germantown always really officially begins with the Germantown Festival. It will be Saturday, September 12th. It's at C.O. Franklin Park. It's one of the longest running festivals in the region. And while it's completely run and produced by a dedicated group of volunteers, it takes an army of not only city staff, from public works, public safety, working behind the scenes right now to prep those grounds to make sure that everything runs safely, seamlessly. It's typically still warm, so we want to make certain that that's well thought out of how we care for our residents as well as our guests that are coming to our city for this wonderful event. We've got nearly 400 local vendors and national vendors, rides, games, car exhibits, live music, fantastic food. And I will say a pro tip for your attendees, take advantage of the free shuttle service. It will allow you to
Ooh.
get closer without having to worry about those parking headaches. One of our fan favorites, we were just talking earlier, the running of the weenies. It has become easily everyone's favorite event. The event it's the one that everyone talks about. It's hosted by our Germantown Animal Shelter at the Charity Horse Show Arena from 11 to 1 on that Saturday. You get to watch dozens of dachshunds, tiny little puppy dogs running in costumes, sprinting to the finish. It is pure joy. There's just no other word for it. So for pet owners that would like to enter your weenie dog in the race, it's $35, or for the costume contest, it's just $10. Pre-registration would be required. So just get in touch with us here at the animal shelter by Thursday, September 3rd at 3:30. We can't do any late entries, so we want to make sure that you register early.
I'm so glad we had video of that to give a better visual because, I mean, it has become a crowd favorite. I was talking to you about how, my alma mater, Mississippi State, does their own wiener race, dachshund race. It's just become a tried and true. You want to get some smiles, sporting events, festivals, get a dog race, whether it's wieners or pugs, puppies, just cuteness overload, if you
It's
will.
perfect.
And going off of parks, you're the perfect person to talk about this because Germantown's really been putting some investment, time, financial resources into their parks. I would love to get sort of that 30,000-foot view about all of the work that's been going on in Parks and Rec there in Germantown.
Again, Parker, one of the favorite things that we can talk about here are our public parks. A half a mile from every home, we have a public park, and our Riverdale Park reopening, where we just reopened the park after major upgrades, adding 80 additional new parking spaces, ADA accessible pathways to Riverdale Elementary,
Oh, look at
and
you.
crucial stormwater drainage. Yeah, that was a day. I think it was about 120 degrees.
Lord.
But we did add those really important important stormwater drainage elements as well as other safety improvements. Most importantly, we were there to officially dedicate the athletic field as Will Drennan Field. In August of 2022, Will, who was a Germantown football coach here in our city, he tragically lost his life saving a child from a stormwater ditch during one of those severe storm events. And so naming this field, again, one of the highest honors I've ever had, it ensures that his heroism, his selflessness, and his legacy will always be remembered by every child that steps onto that field and every family who walks through that complex. We also have been expanding over at the Bob Haley Athletic Complex. We're keeping all of those athletic facilities top tier with Houston High School starting its campus master plan. The city is transitioning off of 2 softball fields at the former Houston Levy Park. So we're making certain that our young athletes don't lose playing time. Our Board of Mayor and Aldermen approved converting 2 grass baseball infields into the dirt multi-use fields at Bob Haley Athletic Complex. Bob Haley serves over 1,200 athletes a year through that Germantown Baseball League. And this update allows the fields to host both baseball and softball, giving our sports leagues a much needed flex space, flex time, and that's a direct result of our Parks and Recreation Master Plan. I live close to that park. We literally have spent almost every day of our lives over the last 40 years in some park within our city, and so love seeing that those upgrades are happening.
Fantastic. I want to talk, kind of in that same vein. We talked with Mayor Maureen Fraser in Collierville. They're doing kind of the same thing you're doing with regarding e-bikes, e-scooters. We're seeing a lot more of them on our public green spaces, a lot of places that are normally for joggers, dog walkers, bikers. We've got a lot more something, an e-scooter, I see those e-skateboards. This is, me dating myself. My wife says I'm at heart an 80-year-old man. I don't know what this stuff is. But we see a lot more of that, and it's warranted a public discussion to get that community engagement. So we talked with Collierville about it a couple of weeks ago. I'd love to get Germantown's take on how we're trying to address that and make sure everyone can share these green spaces in these parks appropriately and efficiently.
No question. That is the challenge is as our parks and greenways get busier, we're also looking at how our residents travel. We've seen a significant surge in the e-bike traffic across town because Germantown has that unique network of parks and those neighborhood trails.
Yep.
We're not going to rush to a one-size-fits-all rule. So we're working collaboratively with our Transportation Commission and the Parks and Recreation Commission. They're going hand in hand to evaluate the safety and accessibility. So right now, staff is designing a community engagement plan so we can hear directly from our residents, our cyclist community, and pedestrians before making any policy decisions. We want to make certain that that solution keeps everyone safe and at the same time preserving the unique character of our trails.
Agreed. And some folks know that I lived in D.C. for a few years during the introduction of these e-scooters. And so there was so much discussion with regard to the National Mall, how to properly facilitate these e-scooters and these e-bikes, because it would, if people are just leaving them out and about, when they're done with them, it really put a damper on the grandeur of something like DC, the National Mall, a lot of public spaces in Washington, and it's copy and paste for anywhere else. When we've got green spaces and parks that we've been investing in, we don't want people to take advantage of that with regard to e-bikes and e-scooters. So I love this public discussion and this engagement that you're wanting to have with residents there to try to make sure we take care of what we got, because you've got such great assets that you've put time and energy and money into out there in Germantown. I cannot believe we've already taken 10, 12 minutes. I mean, I always have a blast getting these mayoral check-ins from our suburbs. For those that just want to access some resources, looking for more information about what's going on for the city of Germantown, we'll obviously have this on our website and they can watch the full interview. But for those who are seeing this, want to know more, what's some places that they can visit on the city's website?
I would say, especially right now, from festival preparations to bark dedications and those athletic upgrades, there's so much to be proud of here in Germantown. You can visit germantownfest.com for festival information and keep an eye out for upcoming announcements on our e-bike input opportunities. We're going to get that right. We're going to take our time and make certain that we listen to our community on what fits for our residents here in Germantown. We look forward to seeing you at the festival on the 12th, and I can't wait to see what fall looks like here for Germantown and for our region. Thanks,
I
Parker.
love it. Oh, of course. I had to apologize to Bartlett Mayor David Parsons. He invited me out for something in September, and I've actually got baby number 3 on the way. The due date, I believe, let's see, the due date for this baby is September 14th. So I am probably going to be
Oh, I like that.
out of commission, but hey, a fall baby coming in. But I'm not bailing on you, Mayor Parsons. I have a legitimate excuse as to why I can't come, but
I know.
there's my reason on the forefront. But Vice Mayor Marianne Gibson, City of Germantown, thank you for coming on. It's a nice little substitute from Mike Palazzola. We love having him on, but it's so great to have you talk more about the parks, because you're boots on the ground. You're so involved in it to give us a more in-depth look at the festival and the parks and everything going on with regard to e-bike discussions, e-scooter discussions. Thank you again for coming on, and hopefully we'll see you again soon.
Look forward to it. Thanks.
Hey, I'm First Alert Meteorologist Addison Bentley. Got a pretty nice day for your Thursday. Somewhat. Heading closer into our northern counties, pretty much drier conditions set in for you with those temperatures a little bit cooler, whereas you're sitting pretty much south of I-40, warmer conditions sitting in the mid-90s. Best care home services side 5 cam, still see some cloud coverage heading off into your morning hours as those temperatures currently sitting into the 70s and 80s. This frontal boundary, well, it's sitting into the middle of the Action News 5 coverage area. That's going to continue for the next couple of days. As that propagates a little bit more south for the afternoon, could see some showers and storms begin to develop closer a little bit more to the south of I-40 or along I-40. Day planner for the afternoon, those temperatures, like I said, climbing mostly into the mid-90s. Still seeing cooler conditions to the north, not so much to the south, with the rain chances between the 1 and 7 o'clock quarters. So just keep that in mind if you're picking up the kids from school or you're getting off work. Could run into a little bit of a downpour. Heading into your Friday, mid-90s, drier conditions set in, which is the nice thing with those feel-like temperatures. Well, could climb just a little bit more into the upper 90s and into the lower, I would say about 100 to 105 in certain areas. By the morning, still seeing a few showers pretty much in North Mississippi. Then we set in for the drier conditions by the afternoon as those temperatures still begin to climb. Still seeing that frontal boundary kind of drag across the area. That's where we're seeing these differences in temperatures, even heading into the evening hours. Dyersburg, we're sitting into the mid-80s about that time. Clarksdale, still into the mid-90s. So warmer, hotter conditions still continuing for the weekend, but for your Saturday, could see a few still late storms into Saturday due to the frontal boundary, and then drier conditions set in for your Sunday. Looking forward to Sunday, especially heading into the afternoon, where we're going to sit back into average for that summertime in August, as well as the rain chances staying slim to none. By your Monday, rain chances come back into play. Some passing storms possible with those temperatures sitting into the lower 90s. A little bit below average, but still a range of temperatures within the Mid-South. By your Tuesday, a few more passing storms, then increase our rain chances a tad bit more for Wednesday. Got to get past the next 3 days before we get back to average temperatures starting on your Sunday and a little bit less on your Monday. And then we rebound back to the mid-90s starting your Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Just a moment.
Nope. You must.
Hello.
Okay.
See myself.
Check, check. Can you hear us?
Hey, yes, I can hear you. It's Ariana. How's it going?
Hey, Ariana. How are you, love?
I am doing wonderful.
I am going to jump out of the driver's seat and leave you with Krista Ogier, who
Okay.
is our education liaison for the libraries. And she will be talking about the Family Resource Fair this weekend.
Perfect. All right, Krista, we are going to get started in maybe like 3 minutes. So I'm going to mute our mics until then, and then we'll go ahead and get started.
Sounds great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Experts say this year's holiday travel landscape is shaping up different than last year's.
Last year at this time, I had really good news for consumers, which was airfare was down. This year, it's completely the opposite story.
Clint Henderson, managing editor for travel website The Points Guy, says their fare tracking already shows holiday fares climbing.
Right now, we're seeing prices up anywhere between 13 and 18% for holiday flights. I think that could spike to 30% or even more if people wait too long.
Airfares are up more than 25% over last year, according to the latest government inflation data. The Iran war has pushed oil prices higher, and airlines are shelling out more for jet fuel costs. But PointsPath founder and CEO Julian Keel says flyers are playing a part too.
People still want to travel. Even as prices go higher, demand is not decreasing. That means airlines can keep those prices high, especially at key holiday times.
For November and December flights this year, Henderson says the booking timeline has changed.
Usually you have till almost Halloween in many cases to get the best deals. This year, we're throwing that playbook out the window. We're telling people, go ahead and book your holiday flights now.
Keel also says lock in fares now if possible, but keep up the search.
Most airfares today, aside from basic economy, can be canceled or changed without a penalty. So go ahead, find a fare that works for you for the holidays, lock it in, but keep looking. Use some of those technology tools available. If you find a lower price, cancel your other flight, lock in the new price.
There's
All right,
Ariana.
everyone. Arianna Poindexter with the Action News 5 digital desk here. It is 9:30 on this Thursday, and we've got a special interview coming up for you right now. So Memphis Public Libraries are bringing together resources, support, and fun. It's all going to be in one place. It's this Saturday, August 22nd at the Benjamin L. Hook Central Library to host its Family Resource Fair. And joining us to talk more about that is Krista Ogier. Hopefully I got that right. She is the Education Liaison Coordinator. Krista, thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me, Ariana. I'm so excited to advertise our Family Resource Fair happening this Saturday. And as you said, it's just a place for caregivers to start here. If you're looking for resources or just a fun time for families to escape the heat, as we know it has been so hot, Benjamin L. Hook's Library is the place to be this Saturday. So we're so happy to be in partnership with the UT Health Sciences and our Memphis Library Foundation for funding this great event that's just bringing a bunch of nonprofits and community partners to one place for everyone to be. There'll be groups like MIFA and mental health and physical health resources, as well as educational resources and caregiver support and general well-being as well. We'll also have workshops for like IEPs versus 504s, as well as mental health workshops for kids as well as teens. So that it's a fun time for all families, for all ages in K through 12.
That's awesome. You gave us a great rundown there. All right, Krista, tell us, let's go a little deeper into the details, if you will. So tell us a little bit about the goal and why an event like this is so important to have in Memphis and the Mid-South. Tell us about that.
Absolutely. As a mom with a kindergartner for, going to big kids school, I'm realizing just how much support I really need and what things I have questions about. And I don't know where to start all the time. But luckily here at the library, you can start here and we're going to have all the resources for you ready to go. So if you're looking for help of, hey, I have questions of like, my child needs some more support, we have education resources for that. If you're just like, hey, like, there's a hot topics right now of just mental health with my child, and I'm not sure how to navigate that. We're also going to have resources for you as well for kids to do on their own, especially our teens, or for families to just get more information and know what is out there in Memphis, because we have so many community members who are willing to help for free. And I mean, who doesn't need free resources? So it's so important just to feel supported here in our community. And we're so happy that we're able to show up for our community in this way at the Memphis Public Libraries.
And yeah, Krista, you made my ears perk up when you said you're a mom to a kindergartner, because I have a 4-year-old, and you're right. There's so many unknowns. There's so many, maybe even opportunities that the city of Memphis offers that I may not know about, other parents may not know about, that can be really helpful, especially in this season as we're trying to navigate it all. You talked about partnering with UT Health Sciences. Talk a little bit about that partnership and what they will be providing, or what sort of information they'll have there.
Absolutely. So luckily that they are the leading source of, what resources are out there here in Memphis. Here at the libraries, we know we're not always the end all be all. We are not the experts, but we have the resources to get those experts here. So we reach out to UT Health Sciences, and they are bringing all of those partners who are here in Memphis, who are giving those free resources to families. So they have used their network to bring everyone out that maybe we don't even know. Like you said, we don't know what we don't know, but they do. And so that we used our expert partnership with UT Health Sciences to bring out their community partners, as well as we're bringing in our resources and using library resource, like having activities for children and teens, having story times, and as well as providing face paint and snow cones and balloons, animals, just so that it can be a fun time for families as well. We know that with kids, it can be hard when you're at the tabling event and you're trying to get good resources and you're having a good conversation, but you have a little one who's like, I'm ready to go. But luckily at our Family Resource Fair, it's something for everybody. There's some fun as well as some great resources. So whether you're coming to get that really great resource, or you're just coming to have fun, or maybe you're just like, I'm not even sure what support I need, but I just want to find out, we're the place to be this Saturday. So again, Saturday at 10 to 1 at the Benjamin L. Hooks Library. It's going to be a great time, and we hope to see our community show up.
Absolutely. You talked a little bit about fun, and I know that's what the kids are looking forward to, right? If you have to go with mom somewhere on a Saturday, mom or dad, grandma, whoever somewhere, you want to have a little bit of fun. And so I was looking at this, and it seems great. I see a sensory story time, a fashion show, yoga for kids, and then, of course, face painting, balloon animals, food trucks, all the things. So it really is something for everyone, right? Can you talk a bit more about sort of maybe the schedule or some of these other, detailed breakout sessions, I guess it seems like?
Yeah, so we have the tabling all day long. And the face paint and the snow cones and all the fun stuff will happen from 10 to 1 the entire time. So no matter when you arrive, those resources will be available, as well as all the fun things for kids. But then there's going to be little breakout sessions. So in the morning, I think there's the 504 versus IEP workshop for families. So navigating kind of that world, which I know I kind of want to investigate as well, just so I know what's coming up with my kindergartner and what to be looking forward to. And then there will be some yoga in the afternoon, as well as a teen mental health workshop where they can be on their own, because they know that sometimes they don't want to hear things from an adult or with their family, but they will be able to go and explore that on their own with their peers in a really safe environment. So really happy to provide that. And forgetting what else is on there. There's one more thing, and I'm like,
I see resilience for families, Main Up Memphis, fashion show, yoga for kids. Is that what we were missing?
Yes, that's exactly it. So that's also happening this morning. Thank you so much for having that.
Awesome. All right. Is there anything else? I've got this flyer pulled up for everybody right now who's going to be watching. They can see all the details. August 22nd, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Benjamin L. Hooks Central Library. Anything else, Krista, that I have not asked you that you think is important for parents to know or that you just want to share?
Well, I guess I did forget. We will also be providing free books. I know we are a library, so yes, you're like, well, yes, you have free books to check out all the time. But we are actually giving out free books for families to take home, and that's for children, teens, and adults, because we know literacy is so important in our communities, and just reading 20 minutes a day can really change your trajectory of your education as well as just your mental development. And kids seeing their parents read is also important. So we're providing free books to take home. You don't have to bring it back for, again, children, teens, and adults. And again, we just hope that everyone comes and has a great time.
It sounds like a great event, and just, because some people may ask, do people have to sign up? Is it free just to enter? People just can show up?
Absolutely. Just come whenever you're available. We are always a free resource. Again, we thank the Memphis Library Foundation to make sure that these resources are available for free all the time. So yes, come whenever you can. Come for just 30 minutes. Come for the whole day. It's whatever your schedule allows. And we just hope for the community to come.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Krista. I'm going to have all this information on our website, actionnews5.com, in case anybody wants to reference it and have all the information. We appreciate you joining us here in the Action News 5 Digital Desk, and we look forward to the event.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
All right. You too. Thank you.
You're good.
Thank you, Krista. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right. Have a good one.
You too.
got the 80th annual Open and State Championship for chess here in the state of Tennessee. If you ever go downtown, you might see the Memphis Chess Club. Very historic building, a lot of history behind that, and the chess history here in Memphis, chess culture. A bit of a chess novice myself, but I don't think I'm as good as our next guest. This is Mike Shuey. He's the general manager for the Memphis Chess Club. He joins us now to talk about this upcoming event, this chess championship. Mike, first off, good morning. I want to get some insight here, like this chess championship. I think the culture of chess saw a bit of a renaissance when the Queen's Gambit came out on Netflix. I've always had a bit of a passion for chess because of my dad and my grandfather, but I think I remember seeing chessboards hitting record-breaking profits after that series came out. But there's been a long history of chess here in Memphis, and I just want you to speak to that first and foremost. Good morning.
Yeah, morning. So I'm not the greatest chess historian for Memphis specifically, but Memphis does have a rich history of chess. I think it was 1907 that Memphis hosted one of the legs of the World Chess Championship. And in fact, I believe it was Rosa Jefferson, and I think had a weekly chess column for the Commercial Appeal. She, in one of the simuls that were played down here, I can't remember who she played, but she played a grandmaster at a time and either drew or beat him. I can't 100% recall to the best of my recollection, but she's one of the people that's in the Tennessee Chess Hall of Fame, along with her brother, Bradford Jefferson. So yeah, I mean, chess does have a long history. The Memphis Chess Club is believed to be the second oldest chess club in the United States, and we got a brick and mortar home about 5 years ago, kind of right after peak COVID opened up. And yeah, we do chess first, and we do some other things. But we recently got the okay from the Tennessee Chess Association to host the state championship here in Memphis once again.
For someone who says he's not that much of a chess historian, I just learned a few nuggets of information from you. That is a very fascinating history. Second oldest chess club in the United States, supposedly. I think that bears note right there. But so we get the okay from the state to host 80th annual. This has been going on obviously for decades. What are we looking at here? I mean, I think people loosely follow. I think some of the, for lack of a better word, but the first thing that pops onto my some of the more sexier grandmasters that you see. The what's his name? He's I think you know who I'm
Magnus
talking
Carlsen.
about. Magnus Carlsen. That's it. You see guys like him, and he's got like this joie de vivre, this walk about him. He's like making chess on the comeback, on the viral stage. People see that and they see the intensity. Are we looking at anything like that? Does it ever get that intense at these championships?
So yeah, it's a little bit less intense on more regional levels.
Sure.
And with players who are not necessarily like the top 10 in the world, where you have players that decide to wear jeans to a tournament where they weren't supposed to wear jeans or whatever, or sneakers. And a lot of the chess community is kind of like, it's not that big of a deal. But we will see several masters here at this tournament be playing, and it's kind of a unique tournament in that. It's just a more little bit brief history. Is that back in 2020, or excuse me, back in 2022, we hosted it here. The same tournament we hosted on site. We have an on site tournament hall, and we hosted it on site. And that was the first time that it was in Memphis since the year 2000.
Okay.
And then 2 years later, 2 years ago, 2024, we hosted it again. Both times we had 80 something players. And then this time we put in another bid for it. And we're looking to have probably maybe upwards of 120 players, we think,
Wow.
because there was a very generous sponsor in Pro Marketing Group that was able to help increase the prize fund basically by more than 50% than what we had before. And in addition to Pro Marketing Group, the Memphis Downtown Commission actually also had supplied us with a grant, which will pay for all of the plaques. So
Oh, fantastic.
we're really looking to have a very large event, and we're able to get a space at the Holiday Downtown Inn. We'll be playing on the 15th floor, Saturday,
Okay.
Sunday, Labor Day weekend, and with a panorama view of the skyline. So that's
Oh,
going to be
yeah.
really just really cool, interesting venue.
Mhm.
It's always nice to play just some different, interesting plays. Like I think in 2021, the state championship was 2020 or 2021. The state championship was held in Jackson at the Agricultural Center, and that's really
Oh,
cool because
cool.
you're surrounded by like gardens. You can walk outside and take a break or whatever. But always cool to have the cool venues.
No, it certainly is, and I know what you're talking about. That panoramic view, you're going to be able to see a lot of Memphis through that. So a very scenic view over a game of chess. So in the release that I read, I want to make sure I'm clear before I say this. Can anyone enter? I know you said we've already got 120 people, but is there space for just your average run-of-the-mill guy who plays semi-regularly and thinks, let's see how I match up to these guys? Can anyone sign up? Is there a sign-up window still open?
Yeah, so just minor correction. We have 100, or excuse me, we have 83 players already signed up. We're
Got it.
expecting maybe between 120 and
Expecting.
150, but
Got it.
yeah, so anybody can sign up. You only have to be a member of the United States Chess Federation, and you need to be a member of the Tennessee Chess Federation or Tennessee Chess Association, excuse me. And if you're a member of both of those, then anyone can sign up and join in to play. Since we're talking Memphis, if players live in Mississippi or Arkansas, they don't live in Tennessee, then the Tennessee Chess Association stipulation isn't required. But yeah, and to be honest, it's going to be a really great first tournament for anybody who's not gotten into chess because you get to see all these people and you might be surprised who you see there. Like there may be people there'll be plenty of people out of state because it's an open state championship. It means anybody can play for the prize money, but the
Got
Tennessee
it.
residents are playing for titles and plaques.
Got it. Okay. Well, very cool. And so I want to get a little bit more about the club. You say you got to join the United Chess Association, the Tennessee Chess Association. You got to be a member of those. The Memphis Chess Club itself. We talked a little bit about their history. You serving as general manager. Where is the club right now? Like, what's membership like? You just talked about getting a brick and mortar structure. It sounds like the chess club itself here in Memphis is going pretty strong, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, so there are several members that are out and about in the community. We do all sorts of stuff for chess. We teach on site. We teach at PDS. Um, excuse me. And then also in addition to that, so like we have lessons for beginners. So we do have beginner lessons, beginner tournaments. And just as a side note, I just wanted to mention because I forgot to mention about the state championship. There'll be all levels of play at the state championship, so there'll be
Got it.
prizes for rated players. But going back to like what we do, like I said, we
Uh-huh.
have weekly tournaments. We have several players that are just always continuously improving. It's a great place to sit down with people that may have different views than you, and you can always just sit down and play a game of chess. We also have other board games. We're a full cafe. That's basically how we pay our rent, pay our bills is the
Got it.
cafe effectively. And we're located at 195 Madison Avenue. We'd love for people to come down and get a smash burger or some pizza or something. Most of the food is homemade. And then we also like to support local, like our coffee roaster is Naaman Rigby from Rigby Roastery. Excellent roaster, provides really good coffee for us and a really good roast on the coffee that we buy in bulk. So yeah, we just like really we do, to be honest, the chess club downtown, we really do it all. Some people have passed by and they've told us before, they'll be like, well, I didn't ever think about going in because it's a chess club, and it's like, well, we're really open for everybody to come down and grab a bite to eat. It goes to support the chess club basically at the end of the day.
Perfect.
And like we really have to try to have some of the best food and best everything, to be honest.
Hey, all are welcome, it sounds like, and I'm happy to support local and get humbled on a chessboard. So we'll dust it off. We'll see what we can do. I've got a chessboard at my house, but my wife's not a fan, so I'm not really a good play against myself. But gosh, I might pop down there myself. But no, so I want to tell folks. So if this interests you at all, a lot of prize money involved. This is a record, more than collectively $10,000 in prize money for this upcoming tournament. So this isn't just for pride and for plaques. Like there's some actual cash here at stake. But you can go to www.memphischessclub.com/tournaments. Find more information about registration. As you just heard, and I'll correct myself, the United States Chess Federation, and then the Tennessee Chess Association. I know, Federation, semantics, got to get it right here. So, but Mike Shuey, delightful to talk to you about this. I love to hear a little bit about the history, talk about where the club is now and everything you do in the community. Any final words before we get ready for this upcoming tournament, Labor Day weekend?
I guess a couple notes is like we mentioned, the tournament's open for all. We'd love to encourage more people to consider playing and getting into it. And then also it is open to spectators. As long as you can't say anything, you need to have poker face, and your phone needs to be on silent. But if you've got all those things in check, you would probably be more than welcome to watch the games if you don't want to play. But I would really highly encourage everybody to play because, on average, let's say this tournament comes to Memphis every once to 4 or 5 years, and it's always better. We're more likely to host this tournament again the more players we get, just in general.
I think the folks who went to TPC Southwind for the FedEx St. Jude Championship already have their practice in for being quiet at the tee box, so they could probably be quiet at a chess tournament in a couple of weeks. So I love that. Glad the spectators can attend. Again, all this information you can find on their website, guys, memphischessclub.com, and we'll have this on our website, actionnews5.com as well. Mike Shuey, GM for the Memphis Chess Club, thanks so much for coming on. Really appreciate it, and love, again, learning about the history and getting ready to host this championship here at Memphis. Thanks again.
All right, thanks, and thanks for having me on.
Yeah, sure. And a real quick note: if our winner is a Memphian, we'd love to reconnect with you and try to have them on the show and say, hey, look, we brought this to you. Now we've got a Memphis champion, or maybe someone who comes close. They can talk about the experience. We can get some pictures in it. So it'll be a good look. It'll be a good look. But we'll be in touch, man. That sounds great.
Alyssa, can you hear me? Oh, hold on. Hey, Alyssa, can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. So we are going to get started in about 4 minutes.
Perfect. Thank you.
All right, thanks.
Hey, I'm First Alert Meteorologist Addison Bentley. Got a pretty nice day for your Thursday. Somewhat. Heading closer into our northern counties, pretty much drier conditions set in for you with those temperatures a little bit cooler, whereas you're sitting pretty much south of I-40, warmer conditions sitting in the mid-90s. Best care home services high 5 cam. Still see some cloud coverage heading off into your morning hours as those temperatures currently sitting into the 70s and 80s. This frontal boundary, well, it's sitting into the middle of the Action News 5 coverage area. That's going to continue for the next couple of days. As that propagates a little bit more south for the afternoon, could see some showers and storms begin to develop closer a little bit more to the south of I-40 or along I-40. Day planner for the afternoon, those temperatures, like I said, climbing mostly into the mid-90s. Still seeing cooler conditions to the north, not so much to the south, with the rain chances between the 1 and 7 o'clock quarters. So just keep that in mind if you're picking up the kids from school or you're getting off work. Could run into a little bit of a downpour. Heading into your Friday, mid-90s, drier conditions set in, which is the nice thing with those feel like temperatures. Well, could climb just a little bit more into the upper 90s and into the lower, I would say about 100 to 105 in certain areas. By the morning, still seeing a few showers pretty much in North Mississippi. Then we set in for the drier conditions by the afternoon as those temperatures still begin to climb. Still seeing that frontal boundary kind of drag across the area. That's where we're seeing these differences in temperatures, even heading into the evening hours. Dyersburg, you'll be sitting into the mid-80s about that time. Clarksdale, still into the mid-90s. So warmer, hotter conditions still continuing for the weekend, but for your Saturday, could see a few still late storms into Saturday due to the frontal boundary, and then drier conditions set in for your Sunday. Looking forward to Sunday, especially heading into the afternoon where we're going to sit back into average for that summertime in August, as well as rain chances staying slim to none. By your Monday, rain chances come back into play. Some passing storms possible with those temperatures sitting into the lower 90s. A little bit below average, but still a range of temperatures within the mid-south. By your Tuesday, a few more passing storms, then increase our rain chances a tad bit more for Wednesday. Got to get past the next 3 days before we get back to average temperatures starting on your Sunday and a little bit less on your Monday. And then we rebound back to the mid-90s starting your Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
All right, everyone, welcome back to the Action News 5 Digital Desk. Arianna Poindexter here, 10 o'clock on this Thursday. And the Mid-South is getting ready to go red for a meaningful cause. The upcoming Mid-South Go Red for Women Luncheon, it's going to bring together community leaders, survivors, we're going to talk about health and so much more. And joining us now is Alyssa Page to tell us more about such an important cause. Alyssa, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Hi, thank you so much for having me, Ariana.
All right.
Yeah, we're really excited. This Friday, or next Friday rather, at Hilton Memphis, we are going to be having our 15th annual Go Red for Women luncheon. And that's centered around our Mid-South Go Red for Women movement that is all about empowering women to take action and understand their biggest health risk, which is cardiovascular disease. It is still the number one leader of cause of death for women in the United States. For years, women were not included in research, testing, and treatment around heart disease. And the Go Red for Women movement is fighting that. So being able to get women to advocate for themselves, learn their risks, learn their symptoms, and have a good time celebrating all the great things we've done in the Mid-South so far.
Absolutely. All right, tell us why Mid-South women should pay attention right now. Let's break it down, talk about some of the numbers, and just why this is so important.
Absolutely. Well, here in the Mid-South, about 40% of individuals, adults, have high blood pressure and have no idea. So that is an alarming stat right there. We looked at the numbers, and that's enough to fill the FedEx Forum for all of their home games for the Memphis Grizzlies. In addition to that, about 1 in 2 women have some form of cardiovascular disease, and we're seeing that take place in women younger and younger each year. So just being able to understand that women having heart attack isn't necessarily going to look like what we've seen on TV. A lot of times you see what men experience, which is the clutching of the chest and other symptoms, when a woman might feel like they have the flu. And a lot of times we push things off because we're worried about taking care of everyone else. We want to do one more load of laundry or finish this email. We'll take care of it tomorrow. No, we are going red today, and we are taking action today.
Absolutely. And can you talk a little bit about, I guess every woman's story is different, right? And so when it comes to heart disease or heart issues, are some of these things preventable, or are some women kind of born with these, heart issues? Can you talk about that?
Absolutely. So it's a mixture of both. We have CHD,
Okay.
congenital heart defects, and some stuff that's unpreventable, but largely cardiovascular disease is preventable. High blood pressure is preventable. We can manage these risks by the food we eat, exercise, reducing our stress. That's a huge one. So we are really focused on this event, showing everyone the simple and attainable ways that we can reduce our risk as women.
Awesome. And talk a little bit about what red means go mean. What does that mean, as the slogan, and what does that mean to you?
Right. It's a little not what you're used to hearing, because we think of red means stop, but this is flipping the script. This is our new event theme that is basically saying we're not stopping. We're going. Red, when we wear our red, that means we are going and we are taking action for our heart health. We're going and making our appointment. We are going and learning our numbers and our risks. We're going to advocate for ourselves and for other women in order for us to all live longer, healthier lives.
And of course, that is the theme for this year. What can we expect? What else can we expect about this year's luncheon? I know it's always a good time. Is there anything new or different that y'all are doing this year?
Outside of the theme, the program's going to look different. We will still have Gina Neely as our host, but we will have our Women of Impact that we're celebrating. We'll look at all the local work that we've done. And then afterwards, we're going to have this Red Means Go experience. So it is going to be all about self-care and a lot of really fun activities for attendees to interact with and just really have a good time. And that's what that day is all about, is just celebrating women and enjoying the day and, having a good time.
No, that's awesome. Love Gina Neely. I know she's going to have the event just so high energy. She's such a fun time. So yeah. I know it's going to be great. So this is going to be Friday, August 28th. And are there still tickets available or tables if people are, watching this like, hey, I want to be involved. I want to support. I want to go. Can they, or is it kind of sold out at this point?
We are getting close to selling out, but there are still a few available. If you go into your search bar and just type Mid-South Go Red, you will be able to find who to get in contact with, learn more about the event. And then there's other ways to get involved with the movement, whether it's with STEM Go Red or Women of Impact campaign. We have a ton of volunteer opportunities and ways to support this mission. So just search Mid-South Go Red and get involved.
Awesome. Is there anything else I didn't ask you? I feel like I could talk about so many of these different pillars and things, like I'm reading about the supporting healthy moms, healthy babies in the Mid-South. I mean, you guys do so much. But what else do you want to highlight regarding this luncheon that is coming up?
I think we covered all the big things. I
Okay.
just want to reemphasize just how important this movement is for Mid South women at every stage. You know, a lot of times we think of heart disease and we think of an older generation, and
Yeah.
it is becoming more and more frequent in younger women. And at every stage of life, it is important for us to advocate for ourselves and to learn our risks because they're different depending on which stage of life you're in. So, learn more, get involved, and learn your risk. And we have a ton of resources. If you can't volunteer or donate, look up and download some resources. We hope to see you at the luncheon and see you around Memphis.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time, Alyssa. We're going to have all this information on our website, actionnews5.com. That way people will know how they can support, know how they can get tickets. And again, Alyssa said they are about to sell out, so you definitely want to hop on that if you're interested. And we're going to have more about just heart health and the American Heart Association and all the things. So we appreciate you so much for sharing such an important cause and such an exciting luncheon.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, have a good one.
You too.
Bring back in Miss Janae to talk about the Healthy Beginnings community baby shower. Miss Janae, thanks so much for sticking with us through some of these technical difficulties. Okay, let's start from the beginning. Walk me through this exciting event that's happening.
Yes, so Saturday at Benjamin Hooks Library, meeting rooms A, B, and C, we are having our first ever Healthy Beginnings community baby shower event. And this event is focusing on new and expecting moms. So we are collaborating with community partners who are on the same type of mindset of just being able to bring resources to these new moms and expecting mothers as well, to just be able to give them a social support setting that provides them with health information, health education, health equity to this vulnerable population. And so we are excited to be collaborating and bringing this to the public, to be offering them some great wealth of information, some expertise from health expert professionals. We have a midwife, we have a doula, we have an OBGYN, and we're going to be giving away gifts for the first 25 guests in attendance as well. We're doing a prenatal yoga class session as well. We're offering a story time demonstration, Mommy and Me, from one of our seasoned veterans here at the library. And we have just so much to offer for the public, and in particular this population. They are in need of just healthy beginnings, healthy starts for their moms, for babies. So this is our first ever event. We're very excited to be offering this to people who are in need.
And Miss Janae, let me ask you this. This is where it got cut off last time. I see when you're speaking about this, you're so excited. Why are events like this so needed in the community? And then what gets you excited about offering this to the community?
Well, events like this are very needed in our community. I've been enrolled at the University of Memphis in my public health master's program, and the first thing that I learned is about social support, and social support is pertinent for vulnerable populations, and so the library is a mecca for that. We are a haven that we offer free resources to the community, to the public. We have our doors open for any and everyone to come in. We offer a wealth of just, like I said, resources, internet access, programming. And so I wanted to create something for new and expecting moms because they are often a vulnerable population that's considered a vulnerable population. So I think this is something that I'm passionate about, something that I've did a lot of research on. It was a topic of mine that I had to come up with. And so with that research, I learned there are so many areas of opportunity and just needs there for this particular community. And so we wanted to just come and deliver and offer them something so they can have a strong start at life and post birth.
And Miss Janae, speaking of support, which we know is so vital, let's say people are out there, they're not an expected mother or, not a mother, but they want to help, they want to volunteer. Are there opportunities for people to get involved?
Absolutely. We are open and looking for volunteers. So if you are interested in volunteering, you can for sure email me, or you can also call our office phone as well. We are not turning down any help. And this isn't just for new and expecting mothers, but they also impact the people and the families, the roles that they also serve within their own family. So it can impact fathers, it can impact grandmas, grandfathers, just anybody. And again, I feel like that this is a need for a population that oftentimes can be underserved. And so I think that's what the library is all about, is kind of filling in that gap for people that are truly in need, and just being able to give them something to look forward to, and a focus on them.
Absolutely. Is there anything I didn't ask you that you feel is important to mention, either about the event or even about resources that are out there?
Yes, so we didn't cover the hours. So the hours are going to be from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. We are open and welcoming to any and all. Even if it's a family thing, you can please bring your family as well. That's why we have the things like Mommy and Me Storytime demonstration. We want to emphasize the literacy component that is also not just helpful for babies, but it's also helpful for mom and being able to bond with their babies. But we welcome dads, we welcome grandparents, we welcome any type of family structural support system that they can come in and learn something too, because it truly does take a village.
You took the words right out of my mouth. It definitely takes a village. We are so excited. And this is the inaugural year, but we know with this, it's going to be successful and come for years to come. And just one more time, it's going to be August 15th, right, from 10 to 2 p.m. And tell us the location one more time.
Yes, August 15th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Benjamin Hooks Central Library, 3030 Poplar Avenue. We are looking forward to the people coming, and we're looking forward to them getting some great wealth of information from a lot of community partners that we have, and just being able to enjoy themselves.
Miss Janae, thank you so much for joining us on the Digital Desk. Thank you for your passion
Thank
and
you.
contributing and supporting the community in such a fantastic way. Thank you so much for joining us and sticking with us on the Digital Desk this morning.
Yes, thank you for having me. I appreciate you guys so much.
Absolutely. And we'll have all these resources and information on our website at Action News 5. Make sure you come out. You don't have to be a new or expecting mother. Again, it takes a village. So if you're that dad, that grandmother, even just that really close friend, or if you want to volunteer, we'll have all the resources on our website. Thank you again, Ms. Janae.
Thank you so much.
All right, guys, welcome back to the Action News 5 Digital Desk. Another situation where we have our monthly visit. We just had Bartlett Mayor David Parsons to talk about what's happening in Bartlett. And now for the city of Memphis, we've got a couple of Memphis events, and you get to hear it from the brains of the operation behind the I Love Memphis blog. It is our friend, Jalen Suchak. First off, good morning. We just talked off camera about SUFs. You know, we just had this is already passed, but we've been doing some interviews on SUFs at the Orpheum. I loved it. I thought it was an incredible show, a new show, Tony-winning show coming to Memphis. What were your thoughts?
It exceeded all of my expectations too.
Right?
Like I kind of went in a little bit blind to it, but it was just so good to me. And for like being an original story, and
yes,
you never know how like it's gonna pay off when you add like the music into like a historical element. Will it work? Is it gonna come off cheesy? I learned so much that I was kind of embarrassed. I'm like, did I miss that day in history about when learning about all these suffragettes?
Because obviously we know about Ida B. Wells, we knew about her participation, but not just that, like establishing the NAACP, her newspaper right here in Memphis, but all of these other names that played such an integral part. I'm like you, I'm just like, oh my gosh, like I had no idea.
Yeah, I think everyone can pull out Ida B. Wells and like Susan B. Anthony, who like predates this time so much, but I thought it was so good, and I think it's exciting that the Orpheum is bringing in these kind of limited run shows. Like I don't know if you guys missed or if you'd heard it too, but they added 3 more shows to their next season like this, so SUFs had a limited run and they added 3 more. So again, take these opportunities when they have. They're only in for a weekend, but the SUFs show did not disappoint. So I have high hopes for the new 3 ones added to the next season.
And folks, as Jalen continues to come on this show, we'll continue to beat the drum of what's happening at the Orpheum. That might just me being a former theater kid, but I mean, this is a great asset that we have in downtown Memphis that brings in like top level Broadway level performances, Tony-winning performances. We've got to support that place and make sure that we can continue to have that stuff come in. But that's for another time as we get introduced to the upcoming Orpheum season. We've got a few things coming. I want to start. We just got the breaking news that in 2028, PGA Tour will no longer be treating TPC Southwind Memphis as a premier championship series. PGA Tour stop. Nevertheless, folks, next week, 2027. It's still going to be what we've seen the last 3 years, which is top-level golf, top-level event, PGA Tour nationally televised event. So if anything, this is going to be at a premier, what is it, supply and demand? Short supply for the moment. But this upcoming, when I was on the TPC Southwind with Robert Miller, he gave us a little tour. Like, this is going to be a big event. And the best part is, and I know you can speak to this, the Grounds Plus package, like $99 a ticket with free concessions and free entrance for kids 15 and under, 2 per ticket holder. I mean, that's a deal to be able to see this level of golf. But I'm going to let you talk about that so I don't take all of the information from you. But, I mean, we've got a great opportunity for folks to get to see some top caliber golf here in Memphis.
Yeah, and you're completely right. Right now is kind of the moment to encourage people to go out while you can. We have it this year and next year, which we're obviously very thankful for. Restructurings happen. It's disappointing, but it happens. But as you mentioned, there is a lot of benefits to this. It's not new, but again, the kids that are free. So every ticket that you purchase, you get 2 free tickets for kids 15 and under. So that's like very generous. And then as you mentioned, new this year, the ticket is Ground Plus. So that comes with all of your free food and drinks. Doesn't include alcohol, but they're gonna have burgers and hot dogs and soda, chips, sides, desserts, and you have about 5 different stations around the course that you're gonna be able to go get that free food at. And there's not a limit. It's not like a one-time redemption that you can go have a lunch. You can go as many times as you want and get that free food and really get your tickets worth. But your tickets worth is going to be the competition. It's the top 70 golfers in the world that come and compete in Memphis every year. You have Tommy Fleetwood to Scotty Scheffler. I love this event. I was never a golf person. It made me a golf fan. I go every year, and you can either try and follow people in the heat if you have someone picked out in mind, or you can kind of just hang back. They have some shaded bleachers that you can just cool off and watch them as they come through. But I really, really recommend it's hole 14. They've really made that into like a fun, almost kind of party hole. So if you make a birdie, if anyone makes a birdie on that hole, the Mick Ultra prices will drop down to $5 for a Mick Ultra for 5 minutes. And it's so funny to see people just booking it to those bars to get those deals. Because, I think it might be about $12 normally. So it's a worthy discount. And they'll have the counter going down, and people definitely take advantage of the fun of that hole. But it's a good mix up. You can be serious or you can have fun.
No, it's true. And I'm like you. Patrick Ellis and I were just talking earlier today. Like, we both have golf clubs, but they collect dust because we might play 2 or 3 times a year, and we're fair weather fans. But when golf comes to Memphis, all of a sudden it's like everyone's got a hush y'all sign. We're out at TPC Southwind. We're ready to contribute because it's such a huge economic driver for the city. So again, we've got it for 2 more years, folks. You've heard some of those package deals. All this info is on the I Love Memphis blog. We've got some info on our website, actionnews5.com. But other events we've got coming up. So I see you wanted to talk about the Speak Salvation Speak at Hattie Lou. So I love that we have events at Hattie Lou on Beale Street. This is just another great opportunity, but talk more about that.
Yeah, and I think last time I was on, we kind of chatted about how this is a really big arts and culture year in Memphis. We have a lot of big anniversaries and milestones and openings, and one of those is Hattie Lou. So Memphis is just such a rich arts scene. It's so full of creative people. So Speak Salvation Speak is going to be the first show of the 20th anniversary season for Hattie Lou Theater, and it's going to be running from August 13th through September 6th. And this is going to be an original play. It's also very cool. They're bringing in an actual kind of notable actor to lead it. It's going to be Harry Lennox, and he has credits in The Matrix and Blacklist. So he'll be the lead in the play. It's a family drama, kind of deals with kind of religion. He is a very kind of strict Pentecostal father, and his son is going to go down a different spiritual path, and that's essentially the essence of the play. But I just really, really recommend people go see a Hattie Lou play if you have not been. They do such a good job with creating that stage presence, and the seats are so close to it. It's so very intimate. You're just going to really enjoy it. If you're not a theater person, I promise you're still gonna find some value out of that. But they have 12 productions that are coming up for this 20th season, and it's going to be really a lot of exciting things. They're going to have an International Black Theater Festival this fall, and they're going to be bringing theater companies from all around the world to Memphis. So there's going to be a production from a group from Norway coming, Nigeria, South Africa to perform in Memphis as well. And then they're also doing something very cool. It's going to be kind of like a walk-through living museum where actors will interact with you. So definitely check out the 20 season. They're going to be doing a lot to work on expanding the theater as well this year. So it's really exciting time for Hattie Lou.
Truly is. 20th season, that's crazy. It's great to see it have lasted that long, and to offer an opportunity for these original plays to be a part of that. I think it's so great for local artists, but any artist who's got a play and a dream and think it'll resonate, and then you put it in a place as historic as Hattie Lou, I think is really great. And all of that you can find again on the I Love Memphis blog site. Now, speaking of expanding theater, this must have been a mistake because I see that you left out of your list the Bluey performance that's going to be at the Orpheum. But that's okay. We can talk about it. No, I'm kidding. But I saw that. And I'm like,
Bluey is
my
overtaking the Orpheum. I think you might be able to speak better. I've not ever seen Bluey.
I mean, like, you don't have kids, but I've got 2 going on 3, and we're a big Bluey household, and I've not told them yet that we're going, but when I do, it's I might be Superman.
Oh, you are taking the kids?
I might top Santa on the list of favorite people. So we'll see what happens. But I remember as a kid in the 90s going to the Orpheum to watch Blue's Clues at the Orpheum.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And so now it's kind of like full circle where it's like, all right, Blue's Clues, tried to make a bit of a comeback, bringing the original Steve back, but that fell through. Now this is like my kids' Blue's Clues. This is Bluey, kind of in that same realm. So it's kind of full circle. And that's the beauty of theater, is that these shows, or at least like iterations of them, continue to last, and you get to re-experience it as an adult with kids and vice versa. So I think that's the beauty of
and having
theater.
the family-friendly opportunities. And I think you'll realize sitting in the crowd, like all that your parents did for us, taking us to these shows.
Oh my gosh, can you imagine? Yeah, I mean, like my mom lugged around. I'm the oldest of four. She lugged around 4 kids to go see Blue's Clues by herself. By the way, Dad was
Yeah,
at work
exactly.
at the Orpheum. So shout out Mom, credit to Mom. But on your list, you do have the Foodieland Food Festival. So Tiger Lane. So I'm excited for this because people are going to get to see up close and personal, like the brand spanking new Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium renovation right on the eve of football season for this food festival. So kind of a new way of experiencing Tiger Lane with all of the renovations that have happened, and that might get folks excited to purchase a ticket and go. So a lot of things happening at Tiger Lane, but most notably what you got on this list, this Foodieland Food Festival. Let's talk more about that.
Yeah, and I recently toured the stadium renovations, and I'm really
Nice.
excited about it. It looks just
It's
amazing, especially
clean.
from the outside.
It's
And then
real good.
the inside will have some really good upgrades too, and also the ability that this renovation is going to give us the opportunity to have concerts and big events in there.
Yes.
It makes the load-in process a lot easier, so that's a plus. But yeah, you'll get to see. Um, it should be basically done because it'll be two weeks before the season then. But Foodieland Food Festival is a new food festival. It's going to be August 21st, 23rd again at Tiger Lane. And this is very like a new experience as a whole. It's that we haven't seen before. It's like a nationwide traveling food festival. So they do stops in other cities. And the concept is kind of like multicultural food, street food from all over. And they'll have like markets, games, live music. I've seen a lot of promotional, content on this, and it's kind of very like fun, Instagrammy, over the top food that's going to
Okay.
be served there. So like, they'll have like deep fried pizza. It
Say
like
less.
lobster rolls. It's just like a whole gambit of stuff from dessert to burrito tacos to New Orleans style oysters. It is just a little bit of everything across the country, and so that's gonna be really fun to see. And I was looking at some other content from cities that it's visited and seeing, okay, is this gonna be something good? And from what I had seen, is people's experience had been a positive one. So it'll be good.
Awesome.
It's a new event to Memphis, so it'll be fun to check out. And then
Exactly.
also on our August guide this weekend is Fan Fest at
That's right.
the stadium,
Memphis
so you can
Tigers,
really
yep.
get to see the stadium up close there
Yeah,
too.
we've been pushing that, get to see the stadium, in the world of NIL and the transfer portal. 80 new players are on this Tigers roster, and it's
Wow.
the first year for Charles Huff. So there's a lot of excitement with the new stadium, with rumors of when's our next bid for a Power 4 conference going to be. So, hey, a lot's being pushed to the table as far as chips. The Tigers, making a bold push. So I'm excited to see how this season goes.
Absolutely.
Now I'm hungry, and I'm also a huge fan of tomatoes. So we've got this edgy tomato festival that you got. We went up to Ripley, Tennessee for their tomato festival. So it's got me kind of like in
Fun.
this spring, summery. Look, my wife thinks I'm weird for this. I love a good tomato sandwich with just a thick slice of tomato, a little mayo, salt and pepper on some white bread. That is peak summer dish for me. But we've got all these different tomato dish guides as part of this event. Hopefully tomato sandwich is one of them. But give folks more information about that. Edge District, really cool, artsy, right Sun Studio, nestled between Sun Studio, Medical District, downtown. Tomatoes. What more could you want?
Yeah, I'm like you where I love tomatoes, and my husband likes to make fun of me because I can eat it like an apple. Like I'm just used to like going
Yes.
into my mom's garden and just like chomping on a tomato.
Munch.
So this is a new event also happening, the Edgy Tomato Festival, and as you mentioned, it's going to be in the Edge District, which really is like a real source of like site of like a lot of growth and excitement with new businesses. You have Hard Times Deli over there, Jim, Bar
Yep.
Limina, and then they'll be opening up a new bar, and you have the brewery. So really excited for them. It's going to be at the intersection primarily of Marshall and Monroe, so they are going to close down the street. It's free admission. So it's an entirely like tomato themed festival combined with like a market, restaurant and bar specials all across the Edge District. And this is organized by Edible Memphis, which is a great resource for all things food and drinks in Memphis. And it'll also be a fundraiser for them. So they're going to have a lot of exciting things to add. I'm not going to take all of their thunder. I'm just going to say stuff that they've already announced. Which is they will have a tomato art contest at Ugly Art Co., which is a very cool new art gallery right next to Bar Limina and Edge District, and local artists are all submitted work to be part of this gallery. And again, they're going to have like tomato themed specials at the restaurants and bars and a ton of vendors. This is going to be a real like full activation of the Edge District. Like the Edge Motor Museum is going to have red vehicles out on the street.
Smart.
So I think it's gonna be really fun. And again, this is free admission, so I'm really excited for this one.
Yeah, and again, folks, that is August 22nd. Jalen, we're over on time actually, but this is great. Like I've had a blast talking about this. August is a chock full month of food festivals, of concerts. We didn't even talk about Live at the Garden. You've got John Legend coming this month. So there's so much happening this month in Memphis, and I feel like I've been played with emotionally because of how good it's felt over the last couple of days weather-wise. So I don't want to get my heart sold on that forecast because, you might need to bring an umbrella, some sunscreen, drink plenty of water. This is not permanent. This is not August in Mid-South as we know it. But anything else, final thoughts, any one particular event that we didn't touch on that you want to draw attention to before I let you go?
Yeah, I'll just mention going to, ilovememphisblog.com. We have that full guide. There is 25 plus events in our August event guide. And then one to check out would probably be Recess Reloaded, which essentially takes like your field day as a kid and makes it for adults. And that'll be happening on Mud Island. So definitely check that out. It's on August 29th. So scroll towards the bottom of that guide, but we're continually adding events to that and our other guides as well. So
and all
lots
over
to
the
do.
city too, because I mean you've got the Botanic Garden, you've got Liberty Park, you've got Edge District, downtown, Mud Island. I mean you get to check all these off your bingo card and get to see different parts of the city, experience different things. So a chock full month. Again, you can find all of that on the I Love Memphis blog, which is headed by none other than Jalen Suchak. Thank you for coming again, and thanks for going over. I had fun. We'll see you next week, next month. Next month. Sound good?
Or if not at the golf tournament, I'll see you then.
Or if not at the golf tournament. I'll
Welcome back to the Action News 5 digital desk. It is 10:34 on this Thursday. We're going to now talk about some stories that are getting national attention, a little bit of entertainment news as well. All right, if you are a bacon lover like me, you're going to want to listen to this story. It is National Bacon Lovers Day, okay? So, of course, it's a time to honor the salt-cured pork and its vegetarian and poultry-based variations. National Day calendar cites records showing the ancient Chinese ate a version of bacon in 1500 BC. It says the phrase "bring home the bacon" stems from a 12th century English church. The calendar says it offered the meat to men who swore they hadn't quarreled with their wives for about a year. Health experts caution about going overboard with bacon, even on a day meant to honor it. Research has linked it to an increased risk of cancer. In other news, First Lady Melania Trump is teaming up with IndyCar to help older kids transitioning out of the foster care system. The partnership, which includes the Fox Corporation, plans to offer new scholarship opportunities to foster youth. The initiative will be unveiled at a White House Rose Garden event Thursday alongside President Donald Trump. It'll mark a rare public appearance for the First Lady, who has kept a much lower profile during her husband's second term. The announcement also stems ahead of this weekend's Grand Prix event on the streets of Washington, D.C. And COVID is making a summer comeback even before the traditional respiratory virus season begins. CDC data shows the national COVID test positivity rate topped 3% for the first time since March, with numbers rising in every state. Experts say the South and West are leading the current wave. Flu and RSV activity remain low, and COVID hospitalizations and deaths are also low. But experts predict cases will keep climbing as summer travel continues, schools reopen, and immunity from previous vaccinations or infection wanes. Health experts recommend testing if you develop symptoms and staying home while you are sick. And one of the most popular contests at the Iowa State Fair is the cow chip throwing competition. Let's take a look at what exactly this is. This year it featured a close contest with a dramatic twist. Paul Yeager from Iowa PBS claimed victory with a winning throw of 77 feet. KCCI 8 news anchor Eric Hansen, he followed closely with a throw of 75 feet despite being stung by a bee just minutes before the competition. The event also included the participation of KCCI reporter Bo Bowman, adding to the excitement of the competition. And during his throw, the cow chip slipped out of his hand and he stepped over the line, disqualifying his throw from the contest. And apparently, the late author Thomas Wolfe was wrong. You can go home again. After spending 6 years in the U.S., the Duke and Duchess of Sussex are heading back across the pond. Here's John Lawrence with the story.
Harry and Meghan are reportedly planning to return to a private residence outside of London later this month. Their children, 7-year-old Prince Archie and 5-year-old Princess Lilibet, are enrolled for classes in Britain this upcoming term, according to the British newspaper The Telegraph.
He did talk about how brilliant the schools were in Britain. He also talked about he thought that the sense of community was really important.
The couple fled from the United Kingdom to the U.S. in 2020 when they stepped back from the responsibilities linked to the crown.
He won't be returning to his royal role, even if he wanted to. The King has made it very clear, and I'm sure that Prince William has made it even clearer, that isn't an option.
King Charles was made aware of the situation on Sunday. Insiders say the King's cancer diagnosis may have led the Sussexes to come back.
When they were at Highgrove, face to face, close up, I firmly believe that Harry saw changes in his father, and that helped kind of move the dial.
While the King is reportedly happy that he'll be able to spend more time with his family, there still may be tensions between Harry and his elder brother.
I think in William's head, he's just now set on the idea that it's him and Kate and the 3 kids that are now the future of the monarchy, and Harry has no part in that.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Well, Nolan Wells' loved ones, they honored him with a prayer rally in Biloxi, Mississippi on what would have been his 19th birthday. Nolan is the black teenager who went missing and was later found dead following a boating trip with friends in Mississippi's Horn Island on July 4th. Now those close to him are not only remembering the teen, but they're renewing calls for justice. Sherelle Hubbard has more.
More than 6 weeks after Nolan Wells' body was recovered, loved ones marked what would have been his 19th birthday with heartfelt messages, prayers, and a rally in Biloxi, Mississippi, about 5 miles from his hometown of Ocean Springs. Nolan went missing after he went to Horn Island on a July 4th boating trip with friends. His body was recovered 2 days later in the water near the island. 2 autopsies have not provided a definitive explanation of what caused his death. Authorities continue to investigate the teen's unexplained death, but have given no public indication that a crime occurred, dividing communities and fueling heartbreak and speculation.
God always reveals the truth.
Earlier Wednesday, his family shared a touching birthday letter they wrote saying, "You are our angel. You will be missed every second of every day, and you will never be forgotten, our sweet sunshine. Happy heavenly 19th birthday, No-No. Remember, don't eat too much Oreo cake and hug Grandma for us." In an online vigil Wednesday, they said they are thankful for the joy he brought them while he was alive and promised to protect his legacy.
Nolan was an incredible person. Just keep us in your prayers. Just keep sharing his story. Keep saying his name.
I'm Sherelle Hubbard reporting.
Well, they're often called by different names: floaties, swim vests, or arm floats, and they're often marketed as learn-to-swim devices. Some even bear a Coast Guard approved label. But nationwide, there's a growing concern among parents and researchers about whether some models may incidentally train children to be in a drowning position. National investigative reporter Carice Jackman spent months speaking with parent advocates and consumer agencies about this oversight. Let's watch.
Okay, pass your mom the keys. Pass your mom.
His smile. Oh, I loved his smile and his laugh. He had the most infectious laugh. And just the words, the little words that he was saying, like he would say, "Kisses to mama." Kisses to mama.
Kisses to dada. Kisses to dada.
How he would tell me that he loved me every time that that I would leave the house. "Mama, I love you."
Mama.
Just his little voice.
A decade's gone by since Christy Brown's heard her son Judah's giggles and watched his dance moves. At 3 years old, Judah loved the water. Christy started taking him to swim lessons and purchased a flotation device so he can enjoy the pool with his family.
We had a barbecue with him and his siblings and our friends at their pool, their apartment pool, and he came out and asked for a towel and something to drink.
She couldn't get the towel around him with the floatie on, so she took it off, just for a second.
Put the towel around him and I sat him right next to me. And then I looked to the other end of the pool where my other kids were at, and I was counting heads to make sure they were okay. And then I looked down and Judah was gone. And then I found him face down in the water and I froze. At that moment I couldn't do anything. Paramedics came and they were able to get his heartbeat back. We transported to one of the hospitals here in Houston and were there for about 2 days before he passed.
After Judah's drowning, Christy began posting online about what happened to her son.
I started getting a lot of parents saying, this happened to me too, or it almost happened to me, or my child took the device off and ran into the water and went straight into that vertical position. I know exactly what you're talking about. And I collected so far about 85 stories of children who did the exact same thing, same pattern.
All across the country?
All across the country.
For children ages 1 through 4, drowning is the leading cause of death. Right now, there's no tally on how many deaths have been linked to flotation devices. But Christy and families she's spoken with wonder if these floaties do more harm than good. Acacia Landfield, a drowning researcher, says these devices make children feel they can float even when they're not wearing them.
Unfortunately, some of the messaging that is used when these devices are being used is, oh, you're swimming, right? And they're vertical in the water. It's floating like a cork, and that is it's the instinctive drowning response, and then that's dropping underwater.
Landfill says another major problem centers on who actually regulates these products. Floaties fall under the jurisdiction of not one, but 2 federal agencies, the Consumer Product Safety Commission and the U.S. Coast Guard. The Coast Guard approves and oversees personal flotation devices, including some brands of these types of floaties that have submitted their products for testing. The Coast Guard's third-party testing laboratory tests flotation devices for use while boating on rivers, lakes, oceans, and other natural water sources.
And they're being used in a completely different environment, and we're just assuming that that's going to suddenly be safe.
Some floaty manufacturers, including the maker of well-known puddle jumpers, tell us their Coast Guard testing also includes meeting safety requirements for sheltered waters, shown by this type of labeling. That company also explained that while the Coast Guard approval isn't specifically for pools, the standards don't prohibit their use in pools. Our national investigative team found dozens of examples from online retailers showing toddlers using them in swimming pools. Many had warnings about drowning, and some of them were Coast Guard approved, but many were not. And for those aquatic floaties not approved by the Coast Guard, the law says it's the CPSC that enforces standards, and they aren't categorized as safety devices, but as aquatic toys. The agency has issued warnings before on other items labeled as swim floats or trainers. CPSC would not make Acting Chairman Peter Feldman available for an interview.
And thank you all for being here and for accepting my invitation to participate in what I hope will mark the beginning of a new chapter in our nation's approach to preventing childhood drowning.
So, Investigate TV showed up at a public meeting regarding drowning prevention to question him.
Over the past year, the Commission has made drowning prevention one of its highest priorities.
But despite months of our team asking questions about flotation devices, the Commission wouldn't address concerns from parents pertaining to floaties, and the issue was not mentioned at the roundtable. Christy said she first tried to get the attention of the CPSC 7 years ago.
But every year since then, we have tried to approach them, and they just shut it down faster and faster each year because they know we're coming, and they know we're gonna ask questions.
After the roundtable, we asked Chairman Feldman about the parents' concerns.
One thing I didn't hear, but I know that's been very important, is the idea of flotation devices and floatable devices. Is that something that's on the mind of CPSC right now?
I think we're looking at all solutions. I think, as you heard from the discussion today, approaches to combating drowning effectively often involve multi-layers of approaches.
Chairman Feldman reiterated that their jurisdiction does not extend to flotation devices that are regulated by the Coast Guard. But Feldman says the Commission remains a cop on the beat and a united front.
Is there anything being done when we talk about the safety aspect of this to improve that dual regulation or to improve the oversight of that too?
Well, we're always looking at the aquatic products that are in the marketplace that are within CPSC's jurisdiction with an eye towards whether or not they present an unreasonable risk of injury and or a substantial product hazard.
The CPSC also shares oversight with other agencies for things like infant car seats, ATVs, and fireworks.
If there's a solution to this in terms of regulation and dual regulation, what do you think it is?
I think at the bare minimum, we need to have warning labels that these devices can cause a false sense of safety for the children, and that they are not meant to be a replacement for learning skills in the water.
When it comes to even how they're labeled, do you think there's warning labels should be established? Do you think anything could be done to help protect not only children, but that false sense of security that parents feel that they have, even after that device is off?
I think we're taking a look at all of those issues.
Anything else you'd like to add before we finish?
No, I appreciate you guys being here today.
Trains, baby.
Change, baby. Change, baby. Change, baby.
Christy says she won't stop raising the awareness and sounding the alarm for Judah's legacy and to save other families from enduring her heartache.
Think about it as if it's your own child, you know, and stop looking away from stories like mine. Stop ignoring stories like mine. Stop ignoring the babies that we have lost because of this.
Hey, I'm first alert meteorologist Addison Bentley. Got a pretty nice day for your Thursday, somewhat. Heading closer into our northern counties, pretty much drier conditions set in for you with those temperatures a little bit cooler, whereas you're sitting pretty much south of I-40, warmer conditions sitting in the mid-90s. Best care home services High 5 cam. Still see some cloud coverage heading off into your morning hours as those temperatures currently sitting into the 70s and 80s. This frontal boundary, well, it's sitting into the middle of the Action News 5 coverage area. That's going to continue for the next couple of days. As that propagates a little bit more south for the afternoon, could see some showers and storms begin to develop closer a little bit more to the south of I-40 or along I-40. Day planner for the afternoon, those temperatures, like I said, climbing mostly into the mid-90s. Still seeing cooler conditions to the north, not so much to the south, with the rain chances between the 1 and 7 o'clock quarters. So just keep that in mind if you're picking up the kids from school or you're getting off work. Could run into a little bit of a downpour. Heading into your Friday, mid-90s, drier conditions set in, which is the nice thing with those feel-like temperatures. Well, could climb just a little bit more into the upper 90s and into the lower, I would say about 100 to 105 in certain areas. By the morning, still seeing a few showers pretty much in North Mississippi. Then we set in for the drier conditions by the afternoon as those temperatures still begin to climb. Still seeing that frontal boundary kind of drag across the area. That's where we're seeing these differences in temperatures, even heading into the evening hours. Dyersburg, we're sitting into the mid-80s about that time. Clarksdale, still into the mid-90s. So warmer, hotter conditions still continuing for the weekend, but for your Saturday, could see a few still late storms into Saturday due to the frontal boundary, and then drier conditions set in for your Sunday. Looking forward to Sunday, especially heading into the afternoon, where we're going to sit back into average for that summertime in August, as well as rain chances staying slim to none. By your Monday, rain chances come back into play. Some passing storms possible with those temperatures sitting into the lower 90s, a little bit below average, but still a range of temperatures within the Mid-South. By your Tuesday, a few more passing storms, and then increase our rain chances a tad bit more for Wednesday. Got to get past the next 3 days before we get back to average temperatures starting on your Sunday and a little bit less on your Monday. And then we rebound back to the mid-90s starting your Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.